Hello everybody, CW here. I'll talk to you tonight about a step that you can add to add consistency and reliability to your reloading for 10 millimeter. And it's something that it's been around for a little while. It's goes hand in hand with your sizing, and it's called bulge busting. It uses a Lee carbide die and a kit, which gives you a pusher and a die top. You take the die apart, you take out the adjuster, the aluminum adjuster on the top, and the sleeve that's inside the die. It'll change for different calibers. You take these two things out, you insert this down in the top of the die. This is universal for all, and you can bulge bust. Basically what it is it's a carbide sizer die. It's a carbide ring that's acting as a sizer die. So the little pusher takes your case and pushes it right up through. Push it right through the die. And it works because the 10 millimeter auto is a straight wall case. The rim does not protrude. It's not a rebated rim, or it's not a rimmed case. And the rim is the same diameter as the body of the case, and you just push it right through. What happens is your sizing die can only size down just so far, because your shell holder's holding the rim, and the die body can only get down so far. And sometimes you get the base of your bullet swelled, the base of your case rather, swelled, and the sizing die cannot bring it back to spec. So a bulge buster runs the whole case through and sizes it down back to spec. And what that does for you is aids in reliability of your reloads. Sometimes you have heavier loads that'll swell the base of the case a little bit. Now, I'm not talking about a Glock Smile. That's bad, and we will definitely talk about that. I'm going to roll some pictures in right here. Those are destroyed cases. Yes, if you run them through, yes, they will smooth back out. But no, you don't want to use those cases. If you get a case that has that kind of a smile in it, and it's called a smile because of the supported area of the barrel that allows that to happen because of the high pressure that the cartridge is running at. That swells out the brass in the unsupported or lack of support in the barrel in that area. I don't really want to get into a whole lot of this unsupported chamber talk because I have a strong opinion on that as well. And we'll just say that if you get smiles in your cases, the case is actually sheared and it's garbage. Throw it away. Don't try and save it. What we're talking about is a swelled or a slightly enlarged case, usually all the way around. And it happens because a Glock chamber, and it happens in Glocks mostly, but a Glock chamber is such that it's pretty loose, and it allows the brass to swell up to the point where it doesn't want to go back in after it's sized, because the sizing die can't size down that area of the case. So this is going to allow that to be sized, and it's going to increase the reliability of your cases. So let me get out of here. Let me zoom in on the process. And I've got two cases here. We just ran one through. We're going to run these two through, and I'll show you exactly how it's going to work, what it's going to do. Very, very simple. Stand by. Okay, so I'm doing this on a mech press. It'll work standard 7/8 14 die, so it'll work on any press. The stronger, the better. Some of the really inexpensive Lymans and Lees might not be the best press to use something like this on. You want to have a pretty good, stout, substantial press. So if you're using that little bitty Pot Metal cheap Lee one, or the little bitty Lyman one, or the little bitty RCBS one, you may not be as good with this. You want to have a little more substantial press. But the die we're using isn't really intended for this, so it's not smooth. It's not easily fed. I happened to line it up. It went right in. I happened to line it up perfect. That's not normal. But you just push the case in there. You just set it right on top of the pin. Push it up in. The base of the case, the mouth of the case goes in, and you push it right in. You're going to get to about there, and it's going to get really tight. Now, this is carbide, so you don't need to lube it. But if you want to lube it, it's absolutely fine. Just know if you're going to lube it, you're going to want to clean this die out probably every time you use it. Not every single bullet you run through every time, but you've got 50 cases to run through, you run 50 cases through, and next time you use it, clean it before you start, or clean it when you're done, because you're going to have a buildup of lube, and the lube is going to attract debris, and that's where you're going to have a problem. Just the lube built up in there isn't going to hurt a thing, but the lube will attract dust and grit that's going to cause a problem. So you push it up in there, you just push it right through. Goes right through. Get another one. Do the same thing. Now you see it come out the top. Now this will hold 3 cases. So that case is run all the way through, and now this is resized. You still have to run it through your sizing die, but it's resized at the base, so you're going to have much better, more reliable feeding. Now, some cases don't need it, but you don't really know. You can't tell. So run them all through. This is just a zip tie I just used to push through from the bottom, push the cases out. That's all. So there we go. Next step in this process is regular resizing, then flaring, priming, charging with powder, seating a bullet. There's your process of reloading. So this is just a quick video on the Bulge Buster. You buy it as a kit, like I say. You get the pusher, and you get this insert. You got to buy the dies that you need the caliber for separately, and it's the carbide version of the Lee die. Again, know that it's best served on straight wall semi-auto cases. So I believe they make a die for 9mm, but 9mm really it's a tapered case. So if you run 9mm through one of these, you're only hitting the base of the case. Now you're going to say, well, the base of the case is the only place that gets flared, and you'd be right. But it's like I say, it's designed for straight wall cases. So 380 is fine, 40 Smith & Wesson is fine, 45 Auto is fine, 10mm is fine. You cannot run cases like the 32 ACP or the 38 Super, 38 Auto. Those are rimmed cases. They don't work because they won't push through. The rim is bigger than the body, and it doesn't work. The rim needs to be the same diameter as the body, so that you can push the whole thing through to make it work. And there you go. Just a quick video. Bulge busting. It works really good. Cartridges like the 10mm that have a little more pressure that can swell that case. Cartridges that don't push near 40,000 psi really don't have the ability to swell that case. You need some higher pressures in order to move that brass. So the Magnum stuff is all that's going to have the power to do that. There we go. That's it. God bless everybody. CW out.